All right, welcome to Crater Hardware, and this is more trials and tribulations of water cooling and failure of product. Now behind me is my completely water-cooled gaming, streaming, slash capture PC. I use this for production. I use it to stream from my main channel. I use it to record videos for my other channel, on this channel as well. I've got a overkill Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K webcam. But anyway, that's not really what this is about. So a month or two ago, I turned the computer on and had this stuttery mess, like 1 FPS on the desktop. Couldn't game at all on it. Really couldn't do anything. Have no idea what the heck happened, whether I had a power surge or something like that. I restarted it and everything on the desktop was back to normal. However, my coolant pump, water-cooled system, was noisy. I was like, this is weird, and it didn't act like it normally does. Normally when I turn the computer on, it ramps up, BIOS takes over, it ramps back down. You hear it for a second, and then it goes back to what I had set it at for when the BIOS kicks in. Well, it stopped doing that. It just was groaning like crazy, and in gaming, my temperatures were up 10 degrees on my graphics card because that's what I monitor when I'm gaming for obvious reasons. And my CPU was also up 5 to 10 degrees. It was weird because I didn't know why all of a sudden my pump got noisy and all my temperatures were off. My GPU used to run about 50 degrees in gaming. It was now running 60 plus. So, okay, I delayed it as long as possible, hoping my pump would stop being noisy and thinking, okay, well, it's still flowing because my temperatures aren't that bad. It never got better and it just got worse as far as the pump noise. Now the pump continued to turn. It's an EK combo unit and I bought it through Titan Rig, which apparently is one of their subsidiaries. So it should have been more or less direct from EK. Now, I did not get any footage of me tearing it down and pulling it back up because I didn't think I'd make a video about this. So anyway, I swapped out the coolant pump, just bought one on Amazon. I bought another EK simply because everyone I found was either Molex or had nasty, ugly cables, and I didn't want ketchup and mustard kind of screwing up the look. Got it all back together, rebled the cooling system, and my temperatures were the same. Now, I normally monitor my GPU temperatures through Afterburner. Well, I pulled up GPU-Z and found my hotspot temperature was as high as 20 degrees higher than my core. Okay, that's weird. So, drained the system again, pulled out my GPU, checked the tightness of the screws, Corsair block, screws were tight, so it wasn't that. Pulled it apart, and it looked like the thermal paste was good coverage. I didn't see any bare spots, and that's where I think is the problem with this system. I used Thermal Grizzly's Hydronaut. I bought that tube, I believe, at Micro Center, so it should have been genuine. And I don't remember any issues with it spreading. There are counterfeits out there, but again, I bought it at a major retailer. Don't think I bought it on Amazon, but I can't be sure. It was a year ago. So anyway, and by the way, I looked in my history and could not find any history of buying Hydronaut on Amazon, so I'm pretty sure I bought it at Micro Center. Repasted it with MX4. My temperatures are back to where they were, so it's obvious something happened with that thermal paste. And looking back on it, I should have repasted my CPU because my CPU temperatures, while not outrageous, are still higher than they used to be. When I run Handbrake, I'm about 80 Celsius, which is 10 degrees above where it used to run during Handbrake, and it's mostly done on GPU, not CPU, so that's concerning. I should have repasted the CPU while I had the system all drained for the second time. So just something to be aware of when you're doing water cooling is, one, make sure if you're buying thermal paste, it doesn't have some issues out there because like Thermal Grizzly is being counterfeit. In fact, they give you cards, but I'm almost positive I had one of those certificate cards in my packet. The thermal paste has a limited lifespan because my editing PC has been together for like 5 years and it's still on its first run of MX4 because I messed up the first time I mounted the block and had to take the Corsair stuff off. So for a production system, it kind of sucks because I had a problem. I had to completely drain the loop twice. Because of the bottom radiator, that complicated things, turned the PC over and over and over, trying to get as much coolant out of it as I could. But it runs so much cooler and quieter than a non-water cooled. So it's a hard thing to think about. So keep that in mind when you're doing water cooled production machines, is fixing them may suck. As always, thanks for watching. This is Creator Hardware.